Folks, it's the 22nd of July. Just on what I'm after saying, I don't like long videos. This is the story here. This is what we're dealing with. This is why anyone who votes Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Sinn Féin, or any of the people before Profits or Labour is virtually bordering on being a criminal. You're a criminal to do this, and the hardship you are causing people. The National Treasury Management Agency, it was scathed of 5 million. 5 million. I read a bit of it there. So Mr. O'Connor, on behalf of it, admitted that he wouldn't describe it as sophisticated. Idiots, old idiots, probably from Nigeria, pulled an old quick one over and got 5 million of our money off him, right? Now, organised and sophisticated. I wouldn't put sophisticated on it, he said in response to questioning from Sinn Féin's Pierce Doherty. I'd let the people who are experts in it do it. Say it's sophisticated. You see this old waffle? No, it wouldn't be that he's a stupid idiot. Mr. O'Connor said that the initial indications show that when the money was received by the fraudsters, the process of moving it began very quickly. Naturally, I was a policeman one time, and there was a woman had a post office, and the pension money arrived on a Thursday evening in the mail van, and they went in and distracted her, and they got the money, a good lot of money, and they simply posted it to themselves. So when they were stopped going up the road, they had nothing. They posted it to themselves. This is what you're voting for. This is what the idiots that voted for the 5 TDs in Cavan Monaghan voted for. And don't tell me this wouldn't happen with Sinn Féin. They were doing the robbing up to a couple of years ago. They were robbing post offices all over the place. Well, the IRA was, and they were the political wing of the IRA. Some of the members of the IRA, I can tell you from my past life, are the ones that's now Sinn Féin elected representatives. Not the ones in Cavan Monaghan now, I have to say. But they are in other places. Mr. O'Connor said the initial indications show that when the money was received by the fraudsters, they quickly got rid of it. You can imagine when fraud actors get money, this is the new word, fraud actors, get money. They try to move the money. They try to disperse it. And I won't say any more. No, because you can't say any more, you stupid idiot. You stupid idiot. He said. Mr. O'Connor later added that once the money was obtained by the fraudster, the indications are that people knew that they were doing what they were doing. People knew what they were doing. What kind of waffle is that? Does he think the fraudsters didn't know what they were doing and tried to move it? The committee was told that 1.5 million has been recovered by NAMA accounts and work on an ongoing to recover the rest. Some chance of that, 3.48 million. Consultancy firm Deloitte & Touche being appointed to carry out an independent inquiry, and they'll get more than the 5 million that was stolen. An independent inquiry of the fraud, while Gardaí are conducting a criminal investigation. So they have destroyed the Gardaí too. When I was in the Gardaí, they could put me on that, and I'd lead round and I'd find out exactly what happened. I mightn't be able to catch them. They could be somewhere else over in Africa, and that's where they are probably, but I'd at least know exactly what happened. Mr. O'Connor said that the review will examine whether or not the organisation's existing controls were adequate. No, they were not adequate. He has to get a crowd to pay them millions to tell him that they were scammed. They weren't adequate. Applied and insisted that they not be shy in acknowledging shortcomings. Will he resign? The NAMA Chief Financial Officer, Ian Black, told the committee that the organisation has been extra vigilant in the wake of the attack, closing the door after the horses bolted. I've come to the conclusion now about these independents who are supporting the government. They are getting unbelievable stuff done in their areas. They're like Tony Gregory. They're getting everything. They're still supporting the destruction of our country. And that includes Verona Murphy, Karen Nolan, the Healy Rays. They've given the government power to to do what they like with no constraints on the migration, on proper spending or proper assessment of projects. They've let them do what they like. You're as well with Fianna Fáil in power than them. You're as well with Fine Gael in power as Carol Nolan or Verona Murphy. She's actually running the Concorla. So there's the problem. When you do get them out, you get these ones in without exacting any price. Had I got elected the last time, or had the Irish Freedom Party got 3 or 4 TDs and they came to us, we'd immediately look for our requirements. We wouldn't get them all. We'd want to be in charge of migration. We'd want a government post. I'd want to be Minister for Immigration. Or somebody in my party. But the people wouldn't vote for it. And this mayhem that you see is the result of people still, some of them did stop voting for them, but nobody came out and voted for our party. And you'd have got some redress had you done that. That's why I think change will only come in Ireland from outside. I don't think it'll come from inside. They can't wait to give away our heritage, our property, or our public institutions, our health services, our legal aid, everything to foreigners, without a question. There's evidence coming through now in England where one police force, I think it's in Epping or somewhere, they're Epping over there. Actually, there was a migrants being bussed in. The locals had a protest. The police brought left-wing protesters to counter the right-wing ones in buses to protest, to counter the anti-migrant protest. The police. So I see there Nigel Farage, I think, has called for the police chief to resign. That's the depth of the anti-British and the anti-Irish carry-on that's going on. I hear a lot of people saying too, and I think there's something to this, a lot of the motive behind this, they know that nobody will vote for them. My campaign will eventually be successful. There's fellas on here, the left-wingers, say, what are you doing? You're getting nowhere. I think my campaign is getting somewhere, along with a lot of others. And they're desperate, knowing that we may stop the people voting for them. And so they're bussing in the migrants by the hundreds of thousands on the grounds that they were more likely to vote these people back into power. That is very likely a big factor in all of this. Right, folks, we'll see you back. We'll see you back soon. Thank you very much.